Okay, good morning, guys. This is an off-the-cuff video. I don't want to spend all day organizing images, but this is one of those very bizarre things that happened, and I was like, how did this even happen? How did I even end up on this data point? Well, the Bible says, a man may devise his plans, but the Lord orders his steps. So I am a conduit for information. This is fascinating. Watch this. Okay, you see that right there? I ended up on Russian prison tattoos after doing a search for satanic sheep and goat tattoos. Because, see, I was doing, look, see, it says Google image search, satanic sheep and goat images, tattoos. So tattoos. So I was looking through these because when you look at these and you start turning these upside down, you can learn a whole lot of stuff when you look at the way these people do their art on their bodies. All you got to do is turn it upside down. It's like, whoa, that's the devil. There'll be a picture of a girl with something like on her forehead. You turn it upside down, it's the devil. I've seen it over and over and over and over again. It's redundant. So the other day, this whole sheep and goat thing on the key of Solomon, at the Vatican, I was like, wow, the whole damn building is a dead sheep. The whole building. And then, and then I was like, well, wait a minute. That picture that Marcel did of me, there's a dead sheep on top of my head facing one direction, and there's a goat on the back of my head facing the other direction. I was like, oh my gosh. So when you turn a sheep upside down, it becomes a goat. One race turns to another race. I was like, whoa. Now I understand back in 2001 why Marcel was drawing that image of me that way. I was like, that is unbelievable. So what I did was I go vet it. I'm like, you know what? I'll go find some of these tattoos. And sure enough, when you turn some of this stuff upside down, you have sheep and goats. You turn it upside down, you have the devil. You turn an image of a sheep that's upside down, something like this, and it turns into the devil. And so I started downloading some pictures that when you turn a sheep upside down, it turns into the devil. I'm like, it's a no-brainer. But while I was doing this, one of these rows, I clicked on and it was this image right here. And the header for the image said Russian prison tattoos. Let me see if I can pull that up. Let me see if I can pull up Russian prison tattoos. Let's see. This is gonna go to this is gonna go to Hillary Clinton, guys. This is gonna go to everything that's going on. Yeah, okay, so it brought up like a page like this, but I was like, wow, weird. And so I was like, this is very bizarre. Russian prison tattoos. But the first thing that it brought up in front of me was this tattoo right here. And that's a very significant thing. When I saw it, I was like, no way. Y'all know what you're looking at, right? Let me get my face out of the way. Take a look. Okay, so do you know what you're looking at? Just sit there and look at it for a minute. Let's just look at it. I'm going to sit back and well, you have a double-headed phoenix. There's one head, there's the other head. You have one wing over here, and you have the Statue of Liberty right in the crosshairs of a scope of a gun. So it's in the crosshairs. That means to be, destroyed. You're in the crosshairs. You're the target. So it's in the crosshairs. So the Statue of Liberty is in the crosshairs, but look at the feathers on this wing. Those are not normal feathers. I'm an artist. It is not. Those are not normal feathers. Those are flames as well as feathers. They serve two purposes: feathers, and they're really flames. Let's look at them. Is that what a feather looks like? No. Is that what a flame looks like? Yes. Huh. And then they did more of the feather thing out here on the side, but none here. This is cryptic. Look at this. What is this guy right here on the other wing? So you have one head over here. That's the Statue of Liberty being destroyed. And then you have over here a guy that's totally cloaked with a gun pointing at you like the shadow government. Wow. What about Hillary Clinton? Let's talk about Hillary Clinton for a second. Hillary Clinton is as guilty as they get. I don't care what you believe. If you can't do cognitive, simple reasoning, Hillary Clinton was the head of the State Department and she sold 20% of United States uranium to Russia. Okay. Part of that group that was involved is a guy named Robert Mueller, Rod Rosenstein, and the whole group that's investigating Trump right now. Okay, these people are part of that Russian collusion. So they're investigating Trump, what they themselves are guilty of. But I'm not letting, I'm not a Trump guy. I'm not a Trump supporter. I mean, I'm a Jesus Christ supporter. But I can see past this puppet show. This is a puppet show. Watch. So now we have a double-headed phoenix. We know that Hillary Clinton, John Podesta with his uranium one and in this whole uranium one thing, and Podesta's interest in a company that got all this money from Russia. Hillary Clinton got all this money to the Clinton Foundation, over $100 million. On and on and on it goes. And they set up a fake dossier to try and get Donald Trump because they thought Hillary was going to be in there. But there's a bigger puppet master that's behind the scenes here. Watch this. Just watch. Where have y'all seen the double-headed phoenix before that I've shown you? Let me show you a couple places. One place is the twin system. Who rules over that? Who rules over the double-headed phoenix? The serpent is the crown over those twin DNAs. There it is. So you see, they have the two DNAs right here, 1, 2, and those make a double U. Remember the double U system, the good U and the bad U. So the serpent is ruling over that system. And again, V and V, 5 and 5 in Roman numerals makes that when you intersect the two, W. And so I can just drag this right there. There's the system right there. That's why it's Prisoner Wine Company. That's why the building of government in the Vatican, that the tongue of the serpent goes to, is the Palacio de Gubernare. It's two identical twin buildings connected by the glue in the middle, which is the serpent, Lucifer, and that's the opposite as the cross of Christ. See here, this is the opposite. This building is the opposite of the cross of Christ. Jesus is the glue between the system that was at odds with itself. So the cross of Christ represents a good you and a bad you, a double you. And then Jesus is in the middle, reconciling those two back to God. Okay, but here on this planet, in the flesh, the entire system is this one right here, the halls of government. There is a representing a good you, truth and lies, good and evil, being held together by the government of the Roman Catholic Church. Okay? I said that for a reason. If you hear me emphasize a word, it's for a reason. The Roman Catholic Church. Okay, well, let's go have a look at a couple things. I want to get this back to where I want it. So when we come back, it's ready to go. Okay, here we go. Let's go look at, let's go look at, let's see. Okay, there's the double-headed phoenix. Let's go look at what the double-headed phoenix is all about. Okay, well, I've done my homework and I know that the double-headed phoenix is an occultic thing as well that represents male and female energy that are in opposition to each other. Okay, that is the esoteric meaning behind the double-headed phoenix. And it's obvious that that system is ruled over by the serpent. That's why I have all this data that proves it. Now, why? And I'll show you some of those images in a minute again. So you have the double-headed phoenix. Watch this. Let's walk it back. So here's a Russian imperial eagle in St. Petersburg. See it? So then you start reading in heraldry. You know, heraldry is the broad term encompassing the design, display, and study of armorial bearings as well as related disciplines such as vexillology, together with the study of ceremony, rank, and pedigree. Okay. And the double-headed eagle is a charge, is any emblem or device occupying the field of the escutcheon, the shield. This may be a geometric design or symbolic representation of a person, animal, plant, whatever. Okay, so the double-headed eagle is a charge associated with the concept of empire. Empire is defined as, quote, an aggregate of nations or people ruled over by an emperor. Let's go back to the twin thing real quick. Let's just go right back there really quick. So, what rules over the twin empire? Well, the double-headed eagle right here, the double-headed eagle right there. Here, let me fix my mouse real quick. Oh, there we go. The double-headed eagle, let me slow it down. Wow, it's sped up really fast. Okay, so here's the double-headed eagle. Okay, let's read that again. So, the double-headed eagle is a charge associated with the concept of empire, which is an aggregate of nations or peoples ruled over by an emperor or powerful sovereign or government. Okay, so that's what the double-headed eagle is, a charge that is the concept of an empire. Well, this whole world is Satan's empire. Okay, that's it. Now watch. So let's look at that. So here is the one that's ruling over the empire. So there it is. Now you guys know that the double-headed eagle, and I just showed you right there, it's on the flag of Russia. It is it's the coat of arms, the symbol of Russia, of Moscow, even has a guy on a horse lancing a dragon, which happens to be on Donald Trump's coat of arms as well. So here is this double-headed eagle that represents ruling over an empire. Now let's just real quickly blow through this. Let's see. Most modern uses of the symbol are directly or indirectly associated with the rule of the Roman Empire and Byzantine Empire. Okay? You can go, I've read this, y'all can go read about it if you want. Whose use of the represented the empire's domain over the Near East and West. The symbol is much older and its original meaning is debated among scholars. The eagle has long been. Now I want you guys to look at that crescent moon down there on that eagle as well, because that's going to come into play. I've been seeing that crescent moon showing up in satanic symbols and satanic double crosses and eagles and all this stuff. It's fascinating. The eagle has long been a symbol of power and dominion. The double-headed eagle motif appears to have its ultimate origin in the ancient Near East, the Middle East, Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, ancient Iran. Wow. So the double-headed eagle its origin is ancient Egypt. Let's look at that again. The Middle East, Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, ancient Iran. Wow. That is the Arabian Peninsula and the Levant. Wow. Especially in the Hittite iconography. Okay, and so as you read about this, then it reappeared during the High Middle Ages, circa 10th or 11th century, used by the Byzantine Empire. 11th, but the 11th or 12th century representations have been found originating from Islamic Spain. Again, it has an Islamic origin or a connection to an Islamic thing. Wow, didn't know that till just today. Watch. This is fascinating. So, from the 13th century onward, it became even more widespread and was used by the Seljuk Sultanate of Rum. Now, let me show you what that is. I clicked on that, and let's see what that is. The name Rum is the Arabic name of Rome and the Roman Empire. Do you know that through a symbol right now, we just tied together ancient Egypt, Rome, and the Catholic Church using one symbol? Why would you use the same symbol? Does it, I mean, this is just like, wow, these are the origins of the symbol. So the Arabic, the Rum, is an Arabic name of Rome and the Roman Empire. Wow. And so then as I kept reading, I was like, wow, so it became, let's see, right here. Let's see if it's highlighted. And as I started looking at the origins of this bicephalaceous bird ornament in a relief of Da Vinci the Great Mosque, at a mosque, that looks like the octopus, by the way, the Rothschild octopus, by the way. But it was also motif was adopted by the Seljuk Sultanate of Rome, which a Turco-Persian Sunni Muslim state established in parts of Anatolia, which had been conquered from the Byzantine Empire. And so they had these double-headed phoenixes on their coins. Later in the 13th century, the motif was adopted by Mamluk Sultanate, was a medieval realm of spanning Egypt, the Levant, and the Ottoman Empire. Wow. So this use of this image goes directly to Islam. It goes to Islam, it goes to ancient Rome, and let me show you a picture of Rome because this is very important that you see this, and the Roman Empire right here. So watch this. So it was associated with the Seljuk Sultanate of Rome, which means Rome, and the Mamluk Sultanate, which is Egypt, within the Islamic world, and by the Holy Roman Empire. So that symbol right there is a multi-ethnic complex of territories in Central Europe that developed during the early Middle Ages and continued until its dissolution in 1806. But now let's see, what does that have to do with today? Well, that's what I was like. That is really bizarre that a guy would have a tattoo like that. Now, let's go back and shrink it a little bit because I see a lot of stuff going on here. This is following suit absolutely with the male female thing You know what? Let me just enlarge it and let me turn it. There you go. Well, the whole thing obviously makes a face. It looks like the face of a possibly, some some kind of a cat. But this is a phallic symbol. These two well-placed onion domes are phallic. Phallic, penis, representation of the male, female. You have your shadow government on one wing pointing a gun, and you have the Statue of Liberty with flames taking over the Statue of Liberty. Now, you know what's really interesting? We all know that Hillary Clinton and Obama are in bed with Russia. Y'all remember the little blurb that was caught when Obama was talking to one of Russia's, politicians, and he said, "Tell Vladimir," he didn't know his mic was live. He said, "Tell Vladimir Putin I'll be able to do more with him in my second term." Like he already knew his second term was guaranteed. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Let me find it. I'll find it. Okay, so here we go. Watch this.
Was far President Obama was far from Washington today in South Korea for a summit with world leaders on nuclear security. But he couldn't escape presidential politics, not after a live microphone picked up a comment that he made to the Russian president. Senior White House correspondent Bill Plant is traveling with the president in Seoul tonight. Bill?
Scott, President Obama and outgoing Russian President Medvedev were still deep in conversation as cameras were ushered into the room. And President Obama was overheard giving Medvedev a very candid political assessment of his ability to deal with the major problems between the U.S. and Russia. All of the issues can be solved, the president told Medvedev, but he stressed that it was particularly important for incoming Russian President Vladimir Putin to give him space on the missile defense system, which the U.S. and NATO want to install in Europe.
This is my last election. Yeah, after my election, I have more flexibility. Yeah, I understand. I transmit this information to Vladimir and I stand with him.
Republican presidential...
I stand with you. Wow, that's nice. I will transmit this to Vladimir and I stand with you. That is really fascinating stuff.
This is a...
Anyway, hang on one sec. Let me just get off this now. Okay, now. So, again, why would someone have a double-headed eagle tattoo with the Statue of Liberty in the crosshairs, with a shadow government, and right now we are in the midst of this witch hunt that Donald Trump's the bad guy? Because even though Donald Trump may seem like he's the fix-it guy, this is called a scapegoat. They're going to blame it all on Trump. They're going to bring the house down on everybody because that tidal wave on your on your $10 bill and your $100 bill that shows the nuclear devastation of New York City, it's printed on your money. Well, you know what? It's printed on this guy's chest too, on a double-headed phoenix. Now, what's really crazy is let's look at Donald Trump's logos for just a moment, and let's go down and remember what rules the double-headed phoenix, the serpent. Where does it go back to? Ancient Rome and Persia. Islam. That's where it goes back to. We just traced it back. It goes back to ancient Islam and the Roman Empire. I just showed it to you. All you got to do is go back and look at double-headed phoenix. Go do all the reading I did. Just go do this. Go do boom. Go through here and start just clicking on all these. Go get your own info. Go do it. Okay, these are the Holy Roman Empire. Where did it come from? The Roman Empire, double-headed phoenix. Where did it originate? It originated in Turco-Persian Sunni Muslim states. So Muslim, it's associated with Islam. You go back and you find sultans that had the double-headed phoenix as part of their currency system. Uh, Nasreddin Mohammed's mint. Wow, that's pretty. Um, didn't Obama say the future should not be left to those who slander the prophet of Islam, Muhammad? Oh, wow, that's kind of convenient. So now, anyway, here we go. Let's go back. Donald Trump. What's Donald Trump's logo right here on his, what is it? It's a double-headed phoenix, which is the same as the coat of arms of Russia. Let's take a look at this guy. So you have a double-headed phoenix on this guy's chest. You have a shadow government, and you have the Statue of Liberty in the crosshairs and flames going over the Statue of Liberty. Let me show you what's going on in the news these days. By the way, I did a thing on this like a year ago where all of a sudden it was like everybody, all these different magazines had to tell everybody about this nuclear warhead delivery system that was called, I think I want to say S6000, this sub that delivers this nuclear warhead that causes a tsunami. Well, isn't that convenient? Because that's what's printed on your U.S. currency on the $10 bill and on the $100 bill. It shows a tsunami wiping out New York. That's what's already printed on your money. Well, the other bombings were printed on your money, and they all happened, didn't they? We can go over that in a minute if you want. As a matter of fact, we should go over that real quick. So here is the article. Let's watch. Putin's nuclear doomsday machine could trigger a 300-foot tsunamis. Wow, that's interesting. Let's use one of these that or maybe we're not using right now. Let's see. We already have the twin folder open. This is Donald Trump, tip of the spear. I'm going to slide it over here. We're going to need that. We're going to open up a new. This is it. Man, the This Is It gallery has so much information. It is so well populated with info that if you went through all these folders and you literally went through all these, it would blow your mind. But let's get to the one we need. Let's go to the U.S. currency. Here we go. U.S. currency right here. So let's open up the U.S. currency. Wow, there you go. So there's the $10 bill, and I'm just going to crop it. So I'll put my picture right here. Right here is a tidal wave. See the tidal wave right here? The black tidal wave covering the 7-story building. And right here, this line right across here. That is the bottom of the building, the base of the building, and then these lines here, 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 and here represent this building's reflection in the water right here. That's the water. So on the $10 bill that they said that they had to change, remember they had to change it because, oh, those battle pesky Russians were counterfeiting our money. But wow, look at that. So when the new $10 bill came out, it made a tidal wave covering a 7-story building. That's wild. Let's talk about the Russian doomsday machine that could trigger 300-foot tsunamis. And let's look at this guy's whacked out tattoo with the shadow government on one wing and the nukes going off, taking out America on the other wing with a penis and testicles and the double-headed phoenix system and the whole weird thing. By the way, there's a crucifixion right in the middle of what this is definitely phallic. Here, testicle, penis, insemination. So this is, wow, look, it does look like it makes a W right there too, doesn't it? That is fascinating. Let's look at this money again. Let's see, where's the U.S. currency? Let's take the U.S. currency and move it right over here. So now we have the Russian thing. What's number one thing in our news? What's the number one thing in the news? CNN won't shut up. MSNBC won't shut up. Russian collusion, Russian collusion, Russian collusion. It's called the Grosse Lüge. Go look it up. Hitler's number one propaganda technique was called Grosse Lüge. It means the big lie. Just go type in big lie, Hitler propaganda technique. Just go read about it. You just keep saying the same crap over and 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 over again. You never back down from it. You keep repeating it. You parrot it over and over and over and over. And eventually everybody believes it. It's called Grosse Lüge. It was a term used by Goebbels and their propaganda machine in order to convert the brains of people that are simple-minded and don't have critical thinking skills, like the left. They just, oh, look at the TV and believe what it says. Look at the TV and believe what it says. Oh, it must be true. Adam Schiff, one day you're going to have to answer for all your lies. Adam Schiff is nauseating. He keeps saying, in the mounting evidence against Donald Trump, there is no evidence, Schiff. You're a psychopath. You're delusional. So anyway, here we go. Back to this. So we have the U.S. currency that's got a tidal wave covering. You're looking right at it. And I mean, this is not arguable. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit just like, this is just not even arguable. Not even arguable. You're looking at a $10 bill that was changed allegedly because of counterfeit. Wrong. They made the sky orange. There's a nuke going off. There's a tidal wave covering a 7-story building. And when I traced around the perimeter of this bill and I slid the bill away, I connected the vertices and look what it made. Oh my gosh. Does that remind you of the key I showed you yesterday? Yeah. The key of Solomon there at the grounds of the Holy Roman Catholic Church. Yeah. And that double-headed phoenix I just showed you, do you know where this comes from? Let me give you a hint. Look right down here. See right down here? Do you think that, you know what, let's enlarge this. Do you think that it is some weird, whacked out artistic accident that these two guys right here, the white on their sleeves makes this double U? Oh, I think I'll make this guy reaching out to the cross and put a white fuzzy, whatever, rabbit fur on his vestures. And I'll do it with this guy too. There's a U, there's a U, there's a double U. And then here's your double-headed phoenix with the serpent ruling over the male and female DNAs. It's the host body system that the serpent rules over. So now we got Russia. We got Russian collusion, Russian collusion, Russian collusion. Mueller, who's part of the shadow government, with Hillary, with Rosenstein, Sessions. You're a joke, dude. I'm coming out to say it. You're a joke too. All you guys are a joke. Anyway, so here we go. There's your tidal wave coming over your 7-story building. Let's look at this. Russian President Vladimir Putin recently said Russia was developing a nuclear-powered torpedo that could detonate a massive nuclear weapon. Such a device might create, look, a 300-foot tsunami. Isn't that convenient? That's what's on the U.S. currency, as well as the sigil of Baphomet. Experts have described hypothetical weapon as a doomsday device. You're not telegraphing anything, are you? Saying it could spread unprecedented and long-lived radioactive fallout. Babylon has fallen never to rise again. Wow. But one researcher said such a weapon would be stupid, as it greatly limits the explosive power and radioactive fallout compared with an airburst. During Russian President Vladimir Putin's address to a federal assembly on March 1st, he described a plethora of nuclear weapons he said Russia was developing. One of these proposed weapons was an autonomous submarine. Stood out among other depictions of falling warheads and nuclear-powered cruise missiles. According to the Kremlin translation's PDF of Putin's remarks, he said the autonomous drone would travel quietly to great depths, move faster than a submarine or boat, and have hardly any vulnerabilities for the enemy to exploit, and carry a massive nuclear It sounds like Trump talking. It's really fantastic, he said. Doesn't that sound like a Donald Trump? It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's really fantastic, he said, and there's simply nothing that would be capable of withstanding them. Okay, he also said Russia finished testing a nuclear powered engine for the drones in September. Unmanned underwater vehicles can carry either conventional or nuclear warheads, which enables them to engage in various targets, including aircraft groups, coastal fortifications, uh, and infrastructure, like New York City. Okay, so Putin did not refer to the device by the name in his speech, but it appears to be Oceanic Multi-Purpose System. Yeah, Status 6, I got it right. Also known as Canyon or Putin's Doomsday Machine. Weird, weird Russian prison tattoos. The Statue of Liberty on fire on one wing, and the other wing, the shadow government. That is crazy. Trump's logo happens to be a double headed phoenix, which is the same thing as Russia's coat of arms. That's crazy. Let me show you something else really crazy. Y'all remember Kanye West said, "Me and Trump are both dragon energy"? Yeah, you got that right, Kanye. Because remember, Trump's coat of arms, that's the face of a woman, guys. That's the Queen of Heaven. Eye, mouth. Here she's got a horn here, and this is her hair. Okay, and this represents the penis that went through the vagina, which was the spear used in the Garden of Eden of Satan. Okay, showing his triumph. Now, I'm going to take this image from the Vatican. This is called the Papal Regalia, and here it is plain, but I drew it in different ways for your perception. I can see clearly the many different things it is. This is a woman wearing a headdress. Okay, I made the headdress blue, and here's her eye, here's her eye. Here's one eye, and here's her mouth. Eye, mouth. This is her face in pink, and this is the headdress she is wearing. And I will slide that down right here, and it's the same thing as Donald Trump's coat of arms, one of his coat of arms. And when you take this exact same thing and you color it a different way, it is a dragon with its mouth open. There it is. And let me enlarge the dragon for you. Here's the dragon's red eye right there. There is its eyebrow, red eye, eyebrow, horn, horn. The dragon's wearing a crown. There is the dragon's nose, which is a human in a slave collar. And there is the open mouth of the dragon. This turns into so many different things. It is ridiculous. I'll show you, obviously. This turns into the face of the devil, and it is the female and male reproductive system joined together, and this is the womb, the beehive, where we're all produced. So now, this is starting to look really, really, really amazing when you start thinking about this. And let me just reduce this in size. And like I said, this is just off the cuff. I'm having just a bunch of interesting thoughts here while I'm doing this, going, this is fascinating. So I'll take this and I'll shove it in here, and there it is. There's Donald Trump's coat of arms, the double-headed phoenix, which is the Holy Roman Empire. And it's got a locust and a dragon on it as well. That is absolutely fascinating. That is absolutely mind-blowing. So, yep. And again, Donald Trump's, let me just, while I'm on the same thought process, let me just get to it. So Donald Trump's coat of arms, there it is. It has a locust. There's a locust in blue. It's identical to the locust from my artwork. Literally identical. My artwork has the identical locust coming out of the pit. And here is the dragon right here on Donald Trump's coat of arms. So there's the dragon, there's the double-headed phoenix, there's a locust from the pit, and it's all on the coat of arms of Donald Trump. And they got this ruse going. They have this entire, Satan does, puppet show, and everyone's like, oh, Donald Trump, you're either for Donald Trump or you're against Donald Trump. I'm not any of it. I don't care about any of it. It's a puppet show. Satan wants the two sides to clash, to divide the country and divide and conquer, then nuke us, and then everybody in this country is going to kill each other because they're going to say it's your fault, and it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be the beginning of the horror. And that's when the Antichrist, Barack Obama, will step in. Let's go back to this. Why Putin's doomsday device could be terrifying. Let's look at, there you go. And then it'll create a giant tsunami which will roll over ships, roll over, let me go back. Let me pause it right there. And there you go. Roll over New York City. Let's go look at the $100 bill and all the other bombings that were printed on our buildings. There you go. Or on our money. So there's the $100 bill right there. There the buildings are, buildings. There's the water coming through the buildings. There's 3 different layers of ink. And it just so happens when you turn that $100 bill upside down, you draw around the perimeter. It just happens to make the sigil of Baphomet, which is the exact same thing as what we were looking at yesterday. Right here. There we go. That's just impossible. Holy Roman Empire, remember? The Roman Catholic Church. I'm sorry I've been a little all over the place on this video, but I'm putting all these thoughts together and I'm like, wait a minute. This all connects again. So let me find a particular image that we populated last night. I was populating this thing again with some very specific images. Let's see. There we go. This one right here. Okay, so again, when you turn the dead sheep upside down, let's see, I'll put this one right here. When you turn the dead sheep upside down, what do they have in common? Oh, wow. The $100 bill, they're all the same. Just look over here. There's your $100 bill that shows New York being destroyed by nukes. Boom. Who runs the Catholic Church? The twin system. The twin system runs it. The double-headed phoenix runs the system. That's the same thing that's on Donald Trump's coat of arms. Now I'm recapitulating and I'm putting it all together. Who runs the twin system? The W, the double-headed phoenix, the Catholics, the Roman Catholic Church. Who runs it? The serpent runs it. What do they have in common? Trump. What does Trump have in common with that? His logo is the exact same thing. Look at this. Trump Tower has a garden on it that is in the shape of a tip of a spear. These are the World Trade Centers, the Twin Towers that were bombed. So here's a One World Freedom Tower. Here's a Washington Square arch where you could watch the sacrifice of the Twin Towers right through the arch. Straight down the street is the Empire State Building, which had locusts crawling on it. And right here is Trump Tower that's got a tip of the spear on it. Let's see. And I will slide down to show you that as well. This should be in this folder. Sorry, my scrolling button is not working really well. It's really frustrating right now. Okay. Okay, there the locusts are crawling up the Empire State Building. Okay, sorry. Here is the Donald Trump Tower, which is right here at the end, the tip of the spear. Here is Donald Trump front and center right here. And he is the tip of the spear from New York Military Academy. His first strike on Syria was an airbase shaped like the tip of a spear. He holds his hand in the air like he's won a victory, the same as his coat of arms, holding a spear tip, which represents the Garden of Eden, where Satan's penis was the tip of the spear to go through and start the system. Donald Trump telegraphs that in, his hand gestures all the time. Here's Lady Gaga wearing a dress that is a serpent, which is the same thing as the twin system. She's got a serpent on her dress. Obviously, right here is just the plain serpent. So here's the serpent. Then I added the other lines. There is a spear going through this triangle, which is right on her vagina, which is identical to Donald Trump's logo. And he also has the double-headed phoenix on his other coat of arms right here, which is the same exact thing as the ones that rule the system, the Roman Catholic Church. And what rules over them is the serpent. And here's Vladimir Putin with his doomsday nuclear underwater sub that will create a tidal wave, which is already printed on the US currency. And here's a really, really bizarre Russian tattoo, if I can find it. Yeah, so anyway, and a very bizarre Russian tattoo that shows a shadow government and the United States, or the Statue of Liberty, being destroyed, the Statue of Liberty being destroyed by a shadow government. Look, that's what's on this thing. A shadow government destroying the Statue of Liberty on a double-headed phoenix with a penis and testicles and the insemination of the system. I mean, this is just nuts. How in the world could you tie these things together? I mean, how could you even get these data points to line up? That's a Russian prison tattoo that has on it in it what's going on right now on your news channels. That's crazy. It's like, what? Like I said, I don't even know how I ended up on this thing, except that I was looking for those sheep tattoos to show y'all when you turn a sheep upside down, it's the devil. So I could show that was part of that same system as the Vatican, which is again the Holy Roman Empire. And here is the image for that. And I will drag that $100 bill on there one more time so we can just see it. This is just nuts. This is just unbelievable. So there's the $100 bill and the nuke going off. And when you draw around the perimeter, you have the same sigil of Baphomet. That's just not possible. That is not possible. So the whole thing is Luciferian. The Holy Roman Catholic Church, the double-headed eagle is who they serve. Male and female energy, host body system is what they worship. They worship the flesh. That's why they worship the virgin. And this is their evil, whacked out. And guys, it's not an individual thing. This is a cumulative cumulative sum of energy using puppets in order to bring about that evil energy onto this planet and to dominate it. That's what it is. And that energy is called evil. Evil. That's what that is. Satan. Anyway, sorry, just my brain just like short circuited when I saw that particular image of the tattoo. I was just like, that's just insane. And yeah. Anyway, yeah, when you turn that double-headed phoenix upside down, it looks just like the thing from the Predator movie. Because we know what's coming out of the pit, don't we? A bunch of locusts like means, wow, how is that the same? It's just crazy. Yep, those who try and hide their plans, they turn everything upside down, and there is an ultimate evil that's coming upon this world. Okay, sorry guys, I know I've just been like going off, but just, like I said, this is just me shuffling a deck of cards and matching data points. I mean, there's no way and like I said, I wasn't just going to sit around all day and organize images. I have too much to do. So I just did it off the cuff. Y'all have all the information yourselves. You can look up in the show notes. You can look up the U.S. currency. You can look up um, the twin system. You can look up Trump tip of the spear. There's a Trump folder. There's the tip of the spear folder. These are all available to you yourself. I mean, y'all, here's the thing. Y'all should really go through all these yourselves. Y'all should go through all these folders. I'm going to go back. Y'all should really go through these yourselves. If you really want to know what's up, you should go through all these folders and just look at them. They all have descriptions of what they are, what you're looking at, and they're all put together in a way that you can figure it out. All you got to do is go one by one by one and just, open up any one of these and start at the top and just start going across it. Oh, wow. $100 bill. Wow. There you go. And you can click on them, enlarge them, view them, see what they really are. And all these data points line up, guys, all of them. I mean, how do you get a data point to line up with a bombing on the US currency to that Russian thing? I mean, how do you get this to line up? How do you get this to line up? How do you get a tattoo to line up that's some Russian prison tattoo? How do you get that to line up? There's no way it could line up unless it's true. You see what I'm saying? All the data points converge. So there's a convergence of all these data points. Islam having to be the double-headed phoenix. I mean, who ever thought that? I mean, what's the big push? Islam. What's the enemy of Christianity? Islam. I mean, this is no brainer now. The double-headed phoenix represents who? Islam, the Holy Roman Empire, or the Roman Catholic Church. They have a big key that's a dead sheep. You turn it upside down. It's the Church of Satan. I mean, all the data points just go. They're perfect. They all intermingle. Anyway, wow, I'm just like, overwhelming. All right. All right, guys. Sorry, my brain is toast. Too much data. All right, God bless. Good night.